Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 3 of Missing the Mark, presented by the Gold Coast Federation. Before we jump into all the introductions, let's introduce our very special guest, the GCF SoCal champion himself. Chris Kadillak has joined us on this very special episode number 3. What's up, champ?
What up, guys? How the hell are you guys doing today? And you're welcome for me taking time out of my schedule today.
Yeah, thank you.
I hear everyone's just so busy, right?
Yeah, you got to clear the schedule.
I had to.
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to be in the kitchen 15 minutes ago, so you guys are very welcome. I had to put that appointment aside. So.
I mean, you can't have Caddy without a little bit of Rossi. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have here on episode number 3 of Missing the Mark, Rossi Montgomery. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And like you said, once again, wherever the champ goes, I try to follow. And I like making the champ look nicer. I like making him look better. And I like reminding everybody right now, during quarantine, during break, the clock has not stopped. The clock is still spinning.
Yeah.
And we are mere months away from the longest reigning, defending GCF SoCal heavyweight champion of our world, still, always, and forever, Chris Kadillak.
I mean, spitting facts start this episode.
He's not wrong.
Let's throw it to the commissioner.
Like I just said, they're not wrong. If you want to check on that history, I'm going to give a shout out to cagematch.net because they're actually keeping track of the days that you've been champ. If you go and search, it's the truth. Go to cagematch.net, type in GCF Wrestling, and they've got a history of GCF on there. They've kept track. They've even updated the UV division, which was not on there a week ago. I pulled some strings, and they actually listened to me, and they have it listed of how long one Tony Reigns, his reign lasted, came to an end. They have his ranking on there, and they have the history of GCF. So give them a follow. Thank you guys for keeping up with us. cagematch.net.
That's an amazing plug.
Very respectable wrestling journalism site, I must say.
You know, it's nice that there is some of those out there. You know,
so they covered every GCF show?
They have the results of every show. Yep.
Oh, wow.
One where I was booked in that terrible goddamn tag match? Anyways.
The whole history, every result of GCF they have.
Since day one, brother.
I didn't even ask. Can I curse? I apologize.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Missing the Mark. We're on YouTube. We're not confined to these rules. So yeah, let's get away with whatever we want.
The ratings are up short.
What?
That doesn't mean you can blare out anything either. I'm just saying that for everybody else before you say something that goes way beyond the actual.
What are they gonna do? Take me off my YouTube channel? That's kind of fucking stupid.
Ask Hollywood. He's had New Japan take him down several times.
That's different. That's totally fucking different.
That's different. You didn't shout the N-word. It's all right.
Jeez, I mean,
I hope you wouldn't.
If we could keep those to a damn minimum, that would be great.
Right?
I mean, that's like the perfect introduction for the owner of GCF. Okay, how do you feel about your favorite duo being here with us on this episode?
It's better than seeing Drew Amazing, so I'm not complaining. And I haven't seen these guys in a long time, so it's kind of refreshing to see these two.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. I'm sure you know it more. Kadillak, how far away are you from breaking the record of 1 year as champion?
June 1st.
June 1st. You have held that title for 1 full year. All right.
Man, like you said, the clock's ticking. We're getting there. But like again, just getting you guys brief back. Missing the Mark is just a spin-off of Mats and Marks. Just letting you guys know once this whole thing clears up, and we're hoping it clears up very soon. We will all be back in the studio in the very near future. But this is pretty much like the wide world of wrestling. We're gonna give you all our takes and all our discussion points, and it's gonna be fun to have Rossi and the champion here, Caddy, to give us their opinions as well. So let's just jump right into the news. And before we jump into this, go for it.
Real quick, saying I have the best name for the first show back.
What is that?
Corona Violence.
Damn.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
Send me my bag of money.
That's the plug right there. I mean, all right, let's jump right into this. The first note of news, man. First off, look, I want to make it very clear before I get into this that we're not trying to take advantage of this situation. It's very serious allegations that are being presented right now. First and foremost, like we're a news channel pretty much as well too. We got to give our opinions about this. We're all in the business one way or another, talent, booking, you name it, we're in it. So I thought we would have to give our opinions about this because this does affect a pretty important and popular professional wrestler in the game today, and that is Velveteen Dream. And I'm sure all of you have heard what is going on. And again, I want to make it very clear. These are allegations. I don't want to say these are facts. Police are already involved from what I have been told. There has been a police report presented in Canada. So we'll see how this goes moving forward. But just to really recap and let the people at home know what's going on, I think it was Friday or it was Thursday. I don't know which one. Whatever reason, news happens after the day we do an episode.
Literally, yeah, every day after.
Every time, man. So somebody went on Reddit, which Reddit's not always the greatest spot for source or whatever, or news. It's very toxic place on Reddit. So obviously, when the first reports of these allegations on Velveteen Dream came out, obviously a lot of people were defending them, coming out saying it's photoshopped. Just they're trying to defend it because at some point, as shitty as it sounds, you do want to hope for the best for a certain individual that certain people look up to and the fans are. And then things got a little bit weirder because then somebody ends up posting a screen recording on Twitter of Velveteen Dream's voice asking these certain individuals who are underage what school they're going to. Now, the defense for that was, people can mimic voices all the time. I have a hard time buying that because it's like that's the voice you're going to mimic and that's the question you're going to ask when you can do anything with that subject. And then the Dream came out with his own, PR stance and kind of like an explanation, which I kind of found a little bit ridiculous because he doesn't deny the photo and he doesn't bring up the voice recording at all. And we've heard nothing since, but I would love to get all of you guys' opinions about this, of how, especially Saint and Wallace, how you guys would handle a certain situation like this. Because you got to understand, Hunter and Vince and all of them, this is the worst timing ever, by the way. The worst. After what we saw a few weeks ago with all the fighting, the let goes, for this to happen, I'm shocked they haven't even let him go. Because we've seen this happen to somebody like Enzo, and he was gone like in 24 hours, and those were allegations at the time as well.
And you can't teach that.
Now, well, okay. The first thing I'm going to say is, if you're going to bring Enzo up, you need to remember that Enzo got released because he tried to hide it from Vince McMahon. He didn't come to them immediately with this information and say, this is what's being presented. He hid it. He showed up to work after they found out without him telling them, and that's when they released him. So it's very mildly different, but there is a little difference in there. The second thing I'm going to say is, as far as PR goes, the first rule of PR, deny, one way or another. And I'm not saying that he was right to do it. I'm just saying that what he posted was a total PR move, and it was like the words were fed to him of what to say. What he said about the photo was someone leaked it, which it's kind of smart of him to not try and hide that if he knows that the picture itself was not altered. It just meant he was hacked. And this is what he's saying, I one way or another. But yeah, that's a PR nightmare, especially with him essentially being the number one contender. And I am actually surprised, too, he has a job currently at this point. It's a real tricky situation.
I mean, as far as the Enzo thing goes, I mean, he was kind of riding his own way out anyway. Like, him and his partner are already a problem backstage. So, I mean, all those allegations are kind of icing on the cake as far as that was concerned. But, yeah, I mean, with Velveteen, I mean, PR 101, like, another lesson in that. It's just, I mean, if WWE wanted to show, the critics, who are saying, WWE isn't looking out for the people, this would kind of be one situation where they probably should kind of, do something to at least help salvage what's left of the Dream's image. If they're investing so much time in, making him one of their guys still and still having him employed there, they could have not had him release a statement, but, just say Dream's not making a comment on this. We're looking into it. The more information we get, we'll find out. We
if they had him do it in character, Dream is not making a comment right now.
Yeah, something like that.
Himself in third person to deny the claim. Oh man,
it's just like
smoke comes up. Like
Dream has no recollection of that.
It's like on that couch.
He just snaps. Where's the allegation at? Allegation gone. But yeah, no.
D-R-E-A, Dream.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, Dream's first instinct is also to defend himself, which I feel like anybody would. But I mean, that's what you have legal teams for. I mean, I don't know if they all have like a lawyer they can go to, but I mean,
I'm sure they do.
Someone under the WWE umbrella. I mean, you would figure either they would tell him how to say it differently, or they would come out as a company and say, hey, look, we're not going to make any comments on this. Tell Dream, hey, don't make any comments on this. Don't tweet about it. Don't even address it. You know, do you think
he has stayed off Twitter and social media since.
And that's good. I hope they do what they did to R. Kelly and take his fucking phone away. But look,
I don't think that worked out for R. Kelly at the end.
It didn't. But I mean, at least it's taken care of now.
It's in jail. Like I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Taken care of. No.
It definitely should be handled a little better.
All I'll say about it, to touch on what you already said, like it couldn't have happened at not necessarily a worse time, but for someone like him who had no, the whole thing back in maybe a year ago of him getting, I guess, kind of heat for the whole call me up Vince thing. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing, to my knowledge, that he had as like a strike, and I don't think it was as severe as it could have been.
I guess he had two of them.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, apparently he was accused of breaking some car window at the PC Center.
Oh yeah, there's like footage of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
sometimes you need a charger, bro.
As far as all that goes, still someone like you said, him being pretty much positioned as getting number one contender shot, regardless if he was ever going to win the belt, but who knows, he easily could have. So to think about that, and to think of the time that and to think how young the guy is, if this does end badly, there's no going to AEW. There's no going to Impact. There's no
going to AEW, but why don't you ask Elgin if he can go to Impact? I think, Impact makes excuses. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just Impact will take anybody at this point. Yeah. That's what that is.
I just think it would be hard, despite Impact or even like Indies, I just think it would be hard for any place to want to try and take him if this is proven, fact and everything. So who knows? But it's never a good time to do stupid shit like that. So, if he's at fault, he's at fault. And sorry, but that's it. If there is truth to his side of it, saying that it was false, it was this, it was hacked, whatever, I hope that he gets out of the wrong. But until that's proven, dude's shooting himself in both feet, arms, hands, fucking everything. Like you can't think of someone right now that would be doing this to themselves more so, I think.
Oh.
So
I get you.
And I love NXT. Obviously, you guys know that. So
and again, Velveteen Dream, immensely talented, but yeah.
What about you, Champ? What do you think about this whole situation?
It sucks because, okay, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So far, there's no solid evidence, like 1,000,000% evidence that he did it. However, from here on in, his career's fucked. It's done. That's it. Yeah. No matter what, these allegations, even if they're proven false, completely false, your career is screwed over because your name is next to that type of shit.
No.
You know what I mean? Your name is right there with that. Oh, it was proven wrong, but there was still an allegation. An allegation can set you back millions of years. I honestly, it really sucks because all the talent in the world. I was a big fan of Velveteen Dream.
Nope.
Man, sky was the limit for him, and for this to happen, and it sucks because if it is false and all this stuff is doctored and all this stuff is just because some trolls try to either extort money out of him or wanted anything from it.
Right.
You ruined a man's career. You basically ruined his life.
His life, yep.
It's done. It's
I
done.
have to not cut off the champ for a second, but I have to do something because in this time right now, I want to show
Jesus.
Green
Oh,
that I
really?
do at a
This
time.
is-
I want him to know
I remember
if
those.
he is proven.
Well,
I'm
it
with
took
you, bro. Like,
15 minutes to get super toxic on us, so that's
Yeah.
all.
But if you are proven factual, then I've never had these glasses, never once.
We'll go back in the race like this.
Somebody's
Delete this footage.
Yeah,
Clear that
No,
footage,
but-
Hollywood.
Like I was saying,
we're gonna have to blur that out.
but like I was saying, it just really, really sucks because no matter what, his career's screwed.
It's
Yeah.
always going to follow.
done, man.
I
One
get what you're
allegation.
saying.
One allegation is all it takes. I mean, look at the whole Me Too movement. Some women were proved to be lying on certain producers and certain people like that.
Mhm.
Like, their careers are still like floundering.
Mhm.
They're not doing well. Like, all it takes is one allegation. That completely sucks. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if he did it, hang him high because, like, I'm sorry, I'm as a father, hang him high.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what else I was gonna say. Like all the boys like backstage who have kids, or
Yeah.
or like have families, like how they view him, whether it's true or not. Like they're not gonna want to trust this dude. Like
Or work with that guy.
or
Why
work
should
with
you
him.
even be
Like,
having these conversations to begin with, if true? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Vince even have that conversations and asking people just the whole thing is just weird. It's dumb. It's sickening. For his sake, I truly hope it's false. I just have a hard time seeing his side when there's like 3 people and there's video recordings and like I get the whole voice mimic shit, but it's like, man, for your sake, brother, I really hope this shit ends up being all a hoax because the way it's looking right now, it's looking very sketchy. But I mean, if you watch freaking NXT this week, no spoiler alert, they're still pushing the match.
Well, I'm
Are
pretty
they?
sure everything's recorded though. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Well, aren't they live this week? I think they're doing live shows.
yeah,
I,
NXT is live, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck me. But but like, it's one of those things, dude. Like, I don't know. It just comes down to like, if none of this is true, then how far can you take a guy like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't really push him anymore because he's still
Well,
in
you
the
can't.
headlines.
Yeah, you'll never be able to put a heavyweight title on him. That's for damn
No,
sure.
not at all. Not at all. He'll definitely not be as big if he still has a job. He'll definitely not be as big as he could have been. Not only that, but the second WWE releases him, I'll take that as he did it because they'll find stuff out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm waiting on that moment.
Yeah, Vince can't pull out the briefcase on this one, man.
Yeah, no, this isn't the 80s. This
They can
is
try.
There's
Snooker.
kids involved, dude.
Is this an episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
I was about to say.
Yeah.
It will be. Give
It's
it another.
starting off.
Yeah.
This is like the first 10
Damn it.
minutes of the episode.
Well,
I mean,
Third
it's going to
season.
be interesting to see how they try to handle this situation. I'm
Right.
kind of optimistic a little bit, just the fact that it's kind of been a couple of days now. We're heading towards a week, and it's kind of been no noise at all or whatsoever. It kind of feels like it's way too quiet for something this big.
Yeah,
You would
that's
think,
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking because like I'm thinking maybe he was being extorted for something bigger.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it could all be all those things. And I think if there's like a full police report, you would think news stations will start picking it up. The ball would be rolling like
Right.
way more. A professional.
Well, and I'm a little surprised that nothing's gotten out yet to media, like
Yeah,
other than if you're not a wrestling
That's-
fan.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, it's like, especially with everything going on with Vince right now, and like him working with Trump and all that shit. You know, they want to like kick the guy as low as he is right now. They want to go for the kill. You would think that this would be something that they would immediately go after. So I will say I'm kind of optimistic just in the way that it's been quiet, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like Caddy said, man, this isn't just career. This is life.
It's a kill shot.
Life-changing situation for a guy. And at the end of the day, I
Life.
really do
We're
hope.
playing for points, man. Like we can't be messing around. Like like jokes aside, but
Don't touch kids.
To touch on what Caddy was saying, yeah. But the whole thing is if, and it's a big if as of now, but if he is telling the truth, if he's proven innocent, not only does he know that he is telling the truth, I hope that the rest of everything will figure it out. But that being said, when truth can save you, all the lies will follow you still. And that's what Caddy was saying. It's he can be proven completely 100% innocent, but some people along the way are going to, like the trolls, they're going to keep bringing it up. And, you know, like all of us, there's only so much we can take, you know? So it's...
And someone can bait him into another situation like that. Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Even if he gets cleared of it, someone out there will try to
make him lose his cool and freak out and fucking flip out on somebody. And yeah, absolutely. That shit happens all the fucking time, man. And yeah, it just sucks, man. It just sucks. But it just sucks to see somebody who's so damn talented just immediately cut short at the knees. Like, damn.
Yeah. That dude, like I've said I was talking about on Twitter, I said he had next. And what I mean by that, kind of basketball term, it's like he was going to be next in line. He had the charisma, the talent, the character, everything about him. You viewed him as a future Hall of Famer. You can't really say that now with all these allegations and stuff like that. That just puts a dent in everything that this dude was building upon, and it's a shame for everybody. Like I was saying, this like it happened on Triple H's 25th anniversary show. You know, the dude was so pissed off in the backstage. Like, really? This is the present you give me on my 25 year? This like that's his NXT boy, man, and it's like that is like him. He looks at them as like his his family, and for that to happen, it's just a shitty situation for him. There's no win for anybody. The people that are accusing him, Dream, there is no win. There's no closure. It's just a totally fucked situation.
Yep.
Yeah,
poor Triple H for looking at these guys as like his kids, and God knows he wants a son so fucking bad. So I mean,
3 daughters, man. He got 3 daughters.
He tried. You could adopt Shane probably. All right, let's get into the new one.
Oh, jeez. Probably could.
Probably could, man. But let's get a new one. WWE 2K. So there's not going to be a 2K21. Thank God.
But you can't say thank God yet because...
There's no thanking God here.
We're not going to get a terrible wrestling game from them. But no, they came out with a new game. WWE 2K Battleground, which is probably going to be like $60 or $30. Well, no. I mean, I wouldn't play that shit. Like,
hell no.
$60 first week, $30 every week after.
It's gonna be $60 for WWE All Stars Part 2, and I don't want it.
Well, look.
Hey, which real quick, Jamal? Fuck you. All Stars was a dope ass game. Fuck you. I saw your
All Stars was boring.
Hold on. Everybody
All-Stars
needs to
was
remember
boring.
it all started with the Legends of Wrestling video games.
Well, those games are cool. Hold on.
I actually
tweeted
like the Legends
Hollywood.
of Wrestling games, though.
When you posted this, I tweeted you and I said, "Oh, they made a game for the juniors division because this game looks like they made midgets out of the wrestlers and just let them go." I'm like, "Where's Super Porky?" Because it looks like all these guys are little miniatures fighting each other.
Super Porky, Jesus Christ.
I don't know why. Look, I'm gonna not be shocked if this is a mobile game. I'm just waiting for that announcement. I'm just waiting for them to say on mobile devices. Like it's a game that I would play for free if there was like a WWEKids.com. Yeah. Maybe then I would play it. I'm not gonna pay for this shit, dude. Like, get away from 2K. And people keep bringing up like, oh, you just hate WWE. I don't hate WWE. I just hate 2K. They're a shitty video game developer. Get away from them. Go to NBA 2. Get away from 2K. EA, like I was telling RJ, like EA should make a comeback. All the other like video game people should be going after these because 2K just sucks. They suck at developing video games right now.
Well, EA actually took the year off. Well, took the time off to make a new game this past year for NBA because they're focusing on making a really good game for the next gen. That's what Madden was going to do too, because Madden wanted to incorporate college football into their next game more. But that's probably not going to happen.
I would love it, dude. If they just randomly, tell me if you think this would sell good. If they randomly threw out a throwback and a current roster that looked exactly like No Mercy, fucking it.
Yeah, like remastered.
Yeah, like remastered No Mercy, that would be dope.
Until you find another developer, do something like that every once a year. You know what I mean? Are you kidding? I would fucking love to play as Ricochet on No Mercy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
yeah,
like Vince can't find someone to buy out the Fire Pro Wrestling people. just do that.
Fuck.
Well, that's what pissed me off too, because 2K's excuse was like, "Well, you guys wanted an arcade style game." Yeah, not that type of arcade style game. We wanted something like Here Comes the Pain, or something like that. Like remaster those. You have those. It's their spin of trying to fix a bad situation.
Is Final
The
Fantasy just remastering games right now and fucking throwing them back out
Resident
there?
Evil's doing the same thing.
I feel
Resident
like
Evil-
Final Fantasy has been rebooting their entire game since like the fucking first games.
But
I swear to
this
God, there's
this
been,
new
like,
Final
3
Fantasy is
versions of,
actually
like,
pretty
Final
good.
Fantasy 17.
But it's a rehash of the old one, of one of the old ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't.
Okay, then.
I can't tell you.
You can't say it's new when it's not. They just want
Exactly.
to reclaim money that they fucking lost the first time.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
I was
Resident
never
Evil
really a
3
fan
also.
of,
Resident
you
Evil
know.
3 by now? It's all remastered?
Yeah, they've remade all of them, but they should probably stop at 3 because once you get to Resident Evil 4, it's downhill from there.
Say hi, Dad Bod God there. He got kids, we know. You'd say hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's
Hi.
one. Yeah.
Special
there you go.
appearance, hey.
There's one of our fans, GCF fans.
Ivy Grace.
Yeah, so 2K Battlegrounds, not buying it. I don't know if anybody
Oh
here.
no, I need
Nah,
2K to
man.
go under.
Ron,
I
you
really
in
hope
here?
to hear-
Yeah. He agrees. You see?
She hates.
Yeah,
Ivy-
see what happens.
Ivy
when
doesn't like 2K
keeps
either.
Making games. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is what 2K is doing
Literally.
to the community. Forget Corona.
See?
Like, get 2K
This
out
is
of here.
what
We need
WWE
a-
needs to be doing.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly,
WWE needs to listen to their fans like GCF is. We listen to her cries. We're not.
Well, and again, they thought she was their target audience, and
Yep.
she doesn't like
And
it.
she
That's
said,
true.
fuck
Look
no.
at that.
That's what
she
2K
said.
is aiming for, and she wasn't happy about it. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, it did open the door for Cody to finally bring up the AEW game and said that they've been working on it. So we'll see.
They're searching for the right search.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
as.
Is
Yeah.
it Ukes working with them though?
That's a rumor. I mean, I would hope.
Yeah,
I
that'll
think
be good.
they're saying the game won't be ready till 2021, the earliest.
So-
So, I mean, the one thing we have to settle for is 2K Battleground, which I ain't playing shit of that.
There's a what's the
I hope AEW 's
WrestleFest game coming out.
I hope AEW's game focuses so hard on the creator wrestler.
Right.
Because those moves are going to be freaking insane.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Well, who
saying
mentioned?
Diamond Cutter.
Someone mentioned Fire Pro. Just so you know, if you go on Fire Pro Wrestling and you search Chris Kadillak, someone has created him, and I can't even take responsibility for this. Chris
Wait,
Kadillak.
what?
There is a creation on Fire Pro Wrestling of Chris Kadillak.
Damn.
Wow.
I will pull that up later and I'll post it on the GCF Instagram to show everyone.
Son of a bitch.
You're getting the plug.
Wow.
But you're in there. Super Beetle's in there.
Are you sure you didn't create these, Saint?
I did not. You can search the name. I mean, I'll take credit where credit's due. If you
I don't
find the
have a
GCF
PS4,
logo,
so I
that's
can't
my
do
doing.
it.
I haven't. No, I'm not good enough to create these guys and make them look like them. So
I don't know.
Plug
but
Animal Crossing
I
one?
have been told that
we have plugged that you can get the GCF logo on Animal Crossing.
that's
I'll
true.
plug
Sick.
that later again.
Saw that. I have been told that one of the person responsible for creating some of the guys on Fire Pro, including Caddy, is a good friend and someone who sees the champion for who he is, the champ. So clearly he wanted to create him in this video game. He wanted him to have the belts in Fire Pro, you know, like it
All right,
makes
all right.
sense. See?
I
don't
still
see
got download that game.
I know, right? See?
Was it Hootie?
It wasn't
You got that much time on there?
Is
it
Is
wasn't
Hootie available
but,
for download? And
We messaged we messaged Darius and I think he'll be playing it soon.
By the way,
Sick.
Downloaded version.
the shirts are coming.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next one, man.
I used my Trump money for that.
Oh,
The blood money.
all right.
Oh man, let's get to the next one. So who remembers when Kofi got buried by Brock so they could book Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar at
I
Saudi?
love your tweet on that. I
Oh
love your tweet
man,
on
I remember it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember that. So yeah, Cain Velasquez got released a couple days ago. $4 million,
best
one
release so
match.
far. But, yeah.
Man, give me your thoughts on that, guys. Just
I
Fuck
mean,
him.
best
Fuck
release
him.
so
Yeah,
far.
he-
They should have never
you-
wasted their money.
Yeah.
I was on his side when he went to Mexico and actually showed that he wanted to learn their style. And then he took dirty money and ran, and he was crap. So I'm all for releasing him. They should have never wasted the money on it to begin with.
No, I was gonna say I just saw the footage. I think last night of his match in AAA, and the stuff he was doing was kind of sloppy. You could know that he was still learning, but he could tell that he was wanting to learn, and he could have gotten better. But then, like you said, he flushed it all down the drain to run to WWE for the money. I get it for the money, but
It's not even the running the WWE.
Ever.
He tried to wrestle with a torn ACL.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
but
what
I
bugs
think if
me.
he would have stayed in Mexico, somebody by either teaching him a lesson or stabbing him, he would have gotten humble and would have learned a little bit of.
Easy there, Invader.
God.
You go so deep cut with these
I'm
shits,
just
man.
saying,
A deep stab with that.
I just think it was the dumbest thing for him to go WWE because we all knew what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
They just wanted the whole Lesnar him payoff, and
On
they didn't
Fox.
get it. It was awful, and no one cared.
Whether he looked bad running Hurricane Ranas and stuff like that, he still wanted to learn and still doing all that shit. But WWE's going to be like, hey, we saw your Hurricane Rana. We don't want you to do that. We want UFC Cain Velasquez.
MMA shoot
versus
stuff.
MMA Brock Lesnar. That's what we want. That's what we're building our stories off of. I think they told him things that, hey, we don't want you doing this, or this. We just want this. Exactly. And
I agree.
maybe he wasn't used to that. Maybe he, because think about it, dude. We're all in the independent wrestling business. If someone puts that many restrictions on you, you're going to go and fuck, what can I do? I have no choice but to suck right now.
No.
Well,
That's exactly I feel like that's what his mentality was when he signed, but I feel like that phone call went like this. Hello, this is Kane. Yeah? Oh, yeah, I get it. All right, bye. I just feel that's how it went.
Yeah.
It actually probably was like, hey, Kane, we're going to talk to you, but actually we're going to talk to Rey Mysterio first, and then he's going to talk for you for some fucking reason. Like,
Yeah, there's only so much stem cell Ray could teach Cain Velasquez in a month.
Does anyone feel like Cain Velasquez took his shirt off before he answered the call? Or what?
Vince was like, put it back on. We don't need to see that.
They should have just had a brawl for all with Brock and Kane if they really wanted to go the MMA.
God,
I mean, yeah.
Sign a bunch of UFC guys that do a brawl for all? Fuck it.
With the amount of guys they're signing,
GCF presents
going and all
Brawl
the
for
guys.
all.
Oh, dude, I'm so down.
Yeah, but I told you what my brawl for all would be. It would be not a tournament. It would essentially be a rumble where everyone just starts throwing fists. 30 guys in the ring, last man standing. Yeah, fucking knock them out, last man standing, I'll hand a belt to. Yeah, this is how it goes.
I shot at somebody in a battle royal once. I'll tell you guys that story off here.
RJ, I know you're the most hurt about Kofi, so I'll let you sound off on that one.
Look,
Time out. Why is he the most hurt by Kofi?
you know goddamn right why I'm the most hurt by Kofi. This ain't no secret, Kadillak. Look,
Wait, you're black?
yes, very. And
Really?
I don't know if I'd say very.
I'm very. Fuck you, Saint. Look.
Anybody
Anyway,
who's hung out with RJ knows it's not very.
because I know how to carry myself like a non-hoodlum. Thank you. I grew up in Orange County.
I
go
didn't
to
say that.
USC.
Those aren't
You're
my
welcome.
words. YouTube, those are not my
Well,
words.
it's what I said. Come find me if you want to see how black I really am.
The thoughts
Anyway.
and feelings of
Unzip.
With this,
Go ahead. Sorry, before this gets worse, go ahead.
with the, I mean, I was never a fan of the signing anyway. Like, I mean, he wasn't ready. Like, you can clearly see him wrestling in AAA. He wasn't ready, and it was like the fact that they took that signing as a reason to be like, all right, Kofi, like, you're dropping this belt to Brock Lesnar in this fashion, but didn't put the belt on Kane. They had a fucking 2-minute match because Kane still wasn't ready and he was hurt, all for the whole Saudi thing. Like, it's not worth it. It's bad booking. It's bad business. And, you know, someone who's really deserving of it got the shit out of the stick. Like, Kofi still hasn't got a rematch for it. Like,
Yeah, he never.
they kind of just wrote him off for that. And
Absolutely,
it's whack.
Absolutely, he got the shit on the stick, but you can't say it's bad for business when they made how much money fucking going to Saudi with doing that program. You can't say it's bad for business. It sucks. It really sucks from a from a personal standpoint. It fucking sucks. But they made the business conscious move to have the bigger match over there that was paying X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say it was bad for business. It was a business move.
I mean, that Saudi deal is definitely bad for business.
I can tell you it was bad for the longevity of this business. It was not bad for in this sense.
Yeah.
You know, but they need to realize that business that they're making a huge amount of is isolating the rest of the world, and that's what they're running into right now through doing these Saudi shows. And the best thing to come out of this all is that they can't make trips down to Saudi for quite some time now.
I hate to interrupt
Yeah,
you guys, especially on this topic. I agree, because I think you made money. You make money in any way. They did it. I don't agree with how they made the money, but in the Vince McMahon way of things that we'll never understand, because holy shit, the guy got his check, and
Well, yeah, he just had to have his boys kidnapped during that. Threatened to pull the plug on the live feed of that show.
Yeah, like making money at what cost? Like that's
what's being laid home for like tens and tens of millions of dollars? What's being laid home? Come on.
Yeah.
And just real quick, I will say that it was kind of more Fox than Saudi. When that deal came. Yeah, because Fox used to have UFC before, and the first ever Fox UFC fight was Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos.
Oh shit, that's right.
They've always been big Cain fans. That dude draws, he does. At the end of the day, Cain Velasquez gets people to watch. So that whole thing, when he did show up, it was the first SmackDown episode on Fox. So
that's right.
Blame Fox. And if you're Vince and you just signed this new lucrative deal with the station, you kind of have to just pull the plug on the Kofi run. It's not worth,
Well, and Vince wasn't behind the Kofi run to begin with. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Oh, just the crowd wanted it. That's it. Yeah. What's going to happen when he signs McGregor? Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but McGregor's 10 times a bigger jaw than Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, no, I just want to see how he's going to bring him in and what he's going to do there with that. They're going to turn wrestling, WWE version of Conor McGregor is going to be fucking Brian Pillman. Turn him into the loose cannon. They're going to turn him into, oh shit, we can't control what he does.
I personally think, and it sounds far-fetched, but it kind of sounds they're going to do something with Conor and Becky where, Becky's the man, and she's the lone. Yeah.
Well, then I hope Conor fucking hits her.
Sorry. I would pop so much for that. I'm not even sure.
He just right hooks.
Call back to the Attitude Era. Just
And look, man, there's a lot more UFC fighters going.
Because he'll look at Seth Rollins and what the fuck is Seth Rollins gonna do against Conor McGregor? Like, are you gonna come protect the chick?
Yeah.
You'll do nothing.
I'm like, shit, I just became a Conor fan. All right.
I'm like, oh, all right.
Rossi hates fucking Seth.
That's when you turn to Conor.
Man,
in MMA stuff, man. They're talking about Amanda Nunes and Colby Covington will also be signing with the WWE in the very near future. So if you don't want to see
Colby Covington come to the WWE?
Because they're going to turn him into their Kurt Angle. That's what they're plan. He's MAGA Kobe.
So they fired Angle to get a new Angle, like
pretty much, in a way.
We don't need you, Kurt.
No.
Brother, WWE is NFL and UFC's afterthought, man. That's where they fucking retire, man. You have to understand that shit. These guys are on their way out of UFC. They've been fucking named. I'm surprised Matt Hughes never stepped into a WWE ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw Shamrock on freaking Impact, so.
I saw the crutch, that fucking guy.
Yeah,
dude. The good thing about Shamrock is that he was tag team champions with a good friend of mine named Carlo Cannon, so in Australia. So.
All right.
Yep. So episode 1, we talked about episode 1 we talked about going live. We pretty much them for
Can we stop interrupting Hollywood?
Yeah.
No, we can't.
All right, so episode 1, we talked about WWE doing their live shows in Florida, all the corruption and shit going into that. AEW is planning to go live because we talked about this on that first episode of Missing the Mark, how we were hoping that other companies wouldn't follow what WWE is doing in Florida, but turns out All Elite Wrestling Dynamite will be live next Wednesday in Jacksonville, Florida.
With no
AEW is an upstart promotion that spent a lot of money on marketing. If they didn't get back to work, they would probably be bankrupt by the end of the year. They have a show to run, and they've got to keep it going. I don't blame them for that. And in a way, I'm kind of happy that at least one promotion is doing it, essentially to spite McMahon, because McMahon is the one that bribed his way into making wrestling being essential. So I'm glad that another company is following suit, only to fact check McMahon, essentially.
That's a good point. I like how it seems like McMahon thought, okay, this is gonna slow them down. There's gonna be no war, and AEW said, no, fuck you. There's a war. Let's fucking do this.
Especially when
But I feel like I really want AEW to be smarter about this. I feel like Maybe just because I know people there, like I really want WWE to or AEW to be ahead of the curve on all this and be like, hey, we're not gonna jeopardize anybody's lives. You know what I mean? We can still do tape stuff. Hey, what? Instead of fucking Dynamite, fucking make hour-long episodes of Being the Elite and put them on.
Seriously, BTE has been so entertaining recently. They've been doing it right, so I do agree with you on that. And you could film from their compound. You could film from Matt Hardy's compound and still be healthier, I think, than this. But yeah.
I think the biggest thing about that was some people were saying is it like hypocritical not to criticize AEW because people criticize WWE. I will say WWE did it a really weird and more corrupt way.
Vince went the total wrong way about it. At least the Khan family is like smart enough to kind of know what not to do about it, and like the Khan family has their own facility, like they own Daly's Place and the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium.
They aren't walking around with the mentality that they're untouchable the same way that McMahon is. There's the difference. AEW waited it out, and it's too soon, but they still waited. WWE took the position of being like, we're above this. Yeah.
I can tell you right now, and this is from personally knowing the Bucks and knowing a lot of people that fucking work there. I could promise you that they walked in there fucking in a meeting with every wrestler there saying, who feels comfortable working? What should we do? Let's take a poll right now. And they did that, and they made their decision based off that. I could promise you that happened because none of these guys, the in charge, would jeopardize anybody else, their fucking friends and everybody else, their coworkers. They wouldn't jeopardize them like that. So I promise you, it must have been a bulk decision. It must have been, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a rough one, a very rough one, because like Hollywood said, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny. You're going to get a lot of fucking criticism for that. But they probably said, hey, who wants to keep working and who wants to go to war?
Yeah.
That's
unlike Vince, who just said, yeah, we're still doing this. And if you show up, you show up. If you don't, we're not going to mention you on TV until you do. Pretty much what happened.
A low ball offer, but without trying to be a dick about it. That's the way Vince went around. But now that we're talking about this, I'd love to get Caddy and Rossi's thoughts on Money in the Bank and the whole concept idea of that, because you guys weren't on that episode when we discussed it, of how if you missed that, the wrestlers will have to go in the building of the WWE corporate office and make their way to the top of the roof and then claim the briefcase. The women should be used to that, but the men, we'll see how that works out.
All I thought of when I heard the whole roof aspect was, I know we're not going to get it, but because of what could happen, I want to hear that pissant Cornette talk about how WWE is doing something so stupid and trailer and blah, blah, because how can you not? Obviously, we're not going to get the Janela rooftop spot that I'm talking about that I would love to see in WWE. I don't care who fucking falls off the roof. I just want to see someone. Probably Vince. But I just want to see Cornette try to still give WWE credit and try not, you know what I mean? Like, it's an interesting idea, but I just think they're trying to market off of the Undertaker AJ and Gargano Johnny and Ciampa and Edge and they're trying to take the theatric part and now really run with it. It does work, and it did work in those matches. I don't think it can work with everything though. That's what they need to realize.
My biggest thing is if I don't see somebody come out of an elevator and run into somebody carrying files and the files just spill everywhere, if I don't see that once, then I'm done.
Waste of time.
I want to see files and paper fly everywhere and them running through offices. You know what I mean? Or somebody be smart and fucking like you forget about somebody and then they're fucking up there with a helicopter. That'd be great.
They just jump through the window.
That's when Shane McMahon enters the match. Just so
there you go, yeah.
That's the spot that he's been waiting for all these years. I don't know how I feel about Randy being in this match, man. There's not enough shots that he could take to the neck that are going to help him in this. Like, you want him to climb the ladders, and no, first of all, you want him to go up the building and then go on the roof and then climb a ladder. That's a lot for poor Ray. I just think that's
I see that Apollo pulled out. What's the story on that? Is that a real injury?
No, it's not. It's
okay. So he was never meant to be in the match.
Yeah, I think they're doing it to add ginger to the match.
They gave him the rub of being able to earn the spot, and now they're taking that away, kind of.
Yeah.
Without, you know what I mean? to
Yeah.
put something they want in.
I don't watch enough of the product lately to know. I just saw the report.
Yeah, they're having some like gauntlet match on Monday. But we'll see how that goes. From what I've heard, Jinder might win it or Owens, one of them, because Owens hasn't been on Raw since Mania. I mean, you could just tell, like Raw's depleted of talent right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're just doing the same shit over and over again, which brings me up to this subject. Is this last Monday they had the lowest ratings in Raw history ever.
The product is stale. The product is boring. It's not. And there's Vince McMahon saying, "Oh, it's because we don't have Brock." Vince is so out of his mind. And again, and I'm sure you had this written down, but let's talk about the segment on SmackDown. This is one of the worst segments I've ever seen between the Triple H 25 here. It felt to me, and it turned out that it was planned, but it felt to me like they were told, "Hey, Hunter Sean, go out there and kill 20 minutes."
Yep.
It was bad. Like, I can't even compare it to anything. It was like Sean didn't even look like he knew what he was doing, and then Triple H starts taking all these phone calls from people, and it was like a little chuckle moment with Stephanie and Sean bad-mouthing each other, and then it just went off entirely, and you had senile McMahon come down there and not even make sense out of his little roast of Hunter that he was doing. Like, this was garbage.
How'd you get in here?
Right?
Yeah,
that was definitely a bad "This Is Your Life" segment, like for sure.
Well, yeah, coming out and like, they mentioned Katie Vick, of course, that's Triple H. But then you have Vince start running down bad segments throughout history. Like, that's not even related to Triple H.
Right? Yeah, he started mentioning Bailey.
He brought up Bailey and her "This Is Your Life" segment for no apparent reason.
It's like, bro, you know you were in charge of those, right?
He brought up the God.
You did, you old fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was bad. And then, just lights shut off, and that's the end of the episode.
I think it was just Vince. Vince was like pacing on the stage, just trying to distract himself from all the shit that's going on outside. It was like, man, I really like what should I talk about? Oh, Bailey. Who do I hate? Oh,
so kind of like whenever you're on the mic in public.
Yeah. Remember who co-signed you being champion, Kadillak? Anyway,
I mean, Caddy won it. You didn't even want him to. Not that I did at the time either. But I'm just.
I did.
Still don't want, but whatever.
In the studio on Skype, still slandering him.
Hey man, we got a company to promote at some point.
Well, it's funny that you bring up the Triple H Sean thing, because Sean kind of took shots at Vince and Pritchard today in the morning, saying that they had a lot of more ideas to do and they filmed a lot more things, but according to some people in the back, they didn't allow it to happen. So it's kind of interesting seeing Sean taking shots there. It's kind of like it's 96 again. But yeah, the Vince stuff was just bad. I'm hearing from other people that he's just doing really terrible right now, which it makes complete sense. One final topic, RJ, and I'm saying, I know you guys brought this up earlier, TNA making a comeback.
the actual name TNA. So what I heard was their current women's champ, heavyweight champ, is what's her name?
Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard is stuck in Canada or is stuck in
Mexico.
So she wasn't able to appear. She's the current heavyweight champ of Impact. So instead, they had Moose come out and declare himself the TNA champion. So
and their main event was a triple threat match for that belt
with Hernandez, who I didn't even know was back, by the way.
Yeah,
and
it was him, Hernandez, and Michael Elgin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great video.
Three guys I don't need to see in a triple threat match for the TNA title.
Well, the problem is you have him show back up with this big gold belt that says TNA, and her belt is not gold. Her belt looks like crap.
It's red.
Yeah,
it's like it's red.
Silver and red.
And you have this big man declare himself TNA champion. So yeah, it sounds like they're onto something.
Oh, and what did his gear look like?
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
It looked like a yellow Ultimate Warrior. You had a big black man dressed up as the Ultimate Warrior.
Is Vince Russo back in TNA? We just didn't know it yet. Like what?
Right.
What the fuck? Like what?
What's up, bro? Like shut the fuck up.
You thought Moose was gonna pull it off? Like no.
Well, and here's my other question: Why wouldn't
Moose.
Why wouldn't you have a TNA original show up with that belt? Wouldn't it make sense? I don't know who. I'm just saying, if you were going to have a champ come out and declare himself
They're all in
TNA
WWE.
champion, like name dropping the old name of a company, why wouldn't it be a TNA original?
Well, even Moose's promo, he mentions AJ, Samoa Joe. He mentions he didn't mention Jeff Jarrett, which I was like, oh, well, that's funny. But
why name drop the founder or anything?
Yeah, he mentioned Kurt Angle, Sting, he mentioned all these guys who are ex-TNA champions. Yeah, and just but why? Why is this coming out of nowhere? I get it, your champion's gone, but this was your backup plan. This is what you thought would work. I give Scott D'Amore a lot
access to that title. I'm just curious.
Well, Scott D'Amore's had it.
Scott D'Amore around.
Yeah. So I watch Ethan Page's vlog. So
Ever heard of Moose?
I've never heard of Moose till now.
Moose is an ex-Atlanta Falcon who came to TNA.
Moose is a slightly
ROH,
better.
right?
He started in ROH.
Moose is a slightly better.
Enough to, I don't know who this guy is. Has he been before?
Yeah, he looks like Apollo Crews.
Now here's what Moose is to me. He is slightly better, but usually worse than Lashley. That is Moose to me.
Moose's spear is a little bit better than Lashley. Yeah. Moose's spear is a little bit better than Lashley.
Champ said
Was he
it.
the guy that
I was gonna
got
say.
knocked out by Loki in ROH?
What's that?
Was he the guy that got knocked out by Loki in ROH?
I mean, he was in ROH.
I don't think. Maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know if he goes that far back.
Guy making his debut and Loki knocking him the fuck out.
Oh shit!
Shit, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's a bummer because I wish someone would
ROH
knock
drama.
Loki the fuck out.
Brett
But
was like, I don't know, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I legitimately don't know much about.
ROH
not
exclusive
missing
on
anything,
episode
man.
number 3.
To be honest, it's fine that you don't. Moose isn't
He's
all that
not
great.
anything. Yeah. Spectacular. I know
but
that
it's
his
just-
heavyweight champion, RJ.
Yeah,
his
he's not.
his
It's just
biggest
TNA
claim-
doesn't have the stars like that.
I can't wait
push to the
WWE
top.
Let's go to that though.
Yeah,
They
sorry.
aren't TNA, so why would Impact Wrestling have someone declare themselves TNA champion? That
Yeah,
doesn't make
I
any
don't-
sense.
I mean, at least unless they're making the change back to that.
So are they going
Which-
to get a six-sided ring again?
Well, they're
What's
starting a whole WCW NWO thing.
There we
I
go.
mean, maybe.
If they do some weird storyline like that, that'll probably be interesting. But
So, which means Wildcat will get a job again real soon.
well, and they're supposed to do that TNA reunion show at WrestleCon this year. but it
Right,
got
obviously
canceled,
WrestleCon didn't happen, so
Yeah.
maybe they
So
have
maybe
a
they
plan.
started throwing people into that.
Yeah, so they were just because they did the last couple episodes of Impact. They were doing old school TNA callbacks. So they had Petey Williams come out in his old gear. They played video packages of Petey Williams in 2005. In the Ultimate X matches and shit.
Where's Michael Bentley? Come on, guys.
Hell yeah.
Look, I said the same thing. So
What are you talking about?
they're doing they do random small TNA callbacks. Ken Shamrock was on camera calling it TNA still. They should just bring it
Well,
back
he
to
was the
TNA.
first champ,
I
wasn't
think
he?
they're hinting at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
think
I
that's
mean-
going to be the end game there with them doing that. It'll be interesting, man. I mean, we'll have to probably see Keith Lee or somebody do that to Charlotte on NXT. So, I mean, the way things are going over there with her title reign. Oh, okay, that's all I had. Unless you guys had any other topics in the world of wrestling, I mean, that's pretty much all I had for this one.
I mean, happy
right,
birthday
well.
to Master P.
The fuck?
Make him say,
I know you're gonna go.
he's in
He was in
wrestling.
WCW, yeah, I'll give
Yes,
you
he
that.
was.
Just for
Was that the,
He owns House of Glory in New York.
God.
Can we just X RJ out of this shit now? What the fuck is going on?
No.
Well,
okay.
First off,
What the fuck
no,
is this? 1998? Get the fuck out of here!
no.
As
but-
usual,
but
we
Master
wanted
P was a big part
questions
of wrestling,
sent to us.
so you're welcome.
Yeah, we're
You're
over,
still
man.
talking about Master P?
What the
Yeah.
fuck was that movie? I'm Your Hookup or some shit like that?
I got the hookup.
Yeah, some shit like. Oh, yeah,
That was-
I
that
knew
was-
you would know it, but fuck. God.
All right,
Master
moving a little on here.
Yeah,
we always
Master
ask,
P.
Not
Bow Wow,
paid
which
for a
one was
plug from GCF.
guys, we always ask the fans for questions, and they lag on us some weeks. I don't have an answer to this particular one, but I can kind of change it. one of them asked us to name drop the history of the champions in Orange County. Now, that's a bit much. I can't go that
Chris
route.
Kadillak is the only one you need to know.
So let's go by that. Chris Kadillak,
Next
let's
question.
talk about your history here. And you don't have to say us for once. You've had a long career. Let's name drop some titles. What are some championships you've won that you can plug here? Or, I'll go this route. Let's see. Because I'm on Cage Match again, cagematch.net. I just typed in Chris Kadillak.
I've won the EWF Cruiserweight title.
Yep, shows here that you held it 168 days. That's what it says.
I've won the EWF American title.
Says here you held that for 104 days.
I've won the New Wave Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships with SoCal Crazy.
SoCal Crazy? I see that.
I've won the New Wave Pro Wrestling, I forgot what it was called, like Maximum.
Rapid Division
Championship.
Now, what was that? That sounds interesting. Was there some different rules to that one, or
it was
what was the
It was kind of a cruiserweight title. It was a little guy title. It was it was kind of it was more flippy stuff and things like that. I have won. I don't know if it's on there. If it's on there, I'm gonna fucking be amazed. HQ Pros Pride Championship.
I don't see that one on here.
Okay.
The other one I see on here is the AWS Light Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, the AWS title that the same night I pretty much lost because I was a drunken idiot. So, but it was weeks later I lost.
Was this a Jeff Hardy Bound for Glory or Victory Road?
No, not
Victory
that.
Road.
It was after the match.
Okay.
After the match, I kind of was stupid and I was happy for myself and believing my own hype and I was being me. Fuck that. The AWS Light Heavyweight title and then but the HQ Pro Wrestling title, it was a new company that was starting off here in SoCal. Okay. Started by the old EWF booker named Cincinnati Red, God rest his soul, and he put that belt on me in a match, in a 4-way match between myself, Tyler Matthews, Vintage Dragon, and God help me, I can't remember the last person, but I thought I broke my ribs in that match.
Ooh.
Because I hit the Hell's Coming With Me, the forward version, on somebody, but when I hit them, I fell back immediately, landed on my head, but I landed on my side also. So like it jerked my ribs up, and the next thing I know, I couldn't breathe.
Jeez.
So I'm sitting there, and Vintage Dragon makes the pin on the last guy, so it's me and Vintage Dragon, and it's elimination. And I remember telling Vintage, like, hey, like, my hardest, I'm trying to tell him, change the finish, this match is over, you win, you win, you win. Didn't hear me, still makes me go up for a missed frog splash with a hurt rib.
Fuck.
And then he goes for the finish, and I'm still trying to gesture him, you win, like, stop, I'm hurt, I can't fucking breathe. We hit what was supposed to be our finish, and I told him kick out, he doesn't kick out. I'm like, fuck. All right, cool. So I'm sitting there with this championship that somebody who was related to The Rock handed me. But then they told me, you gotta give the belt back right away because that's his and he needs to take it with him. Like, okay, so yeah, that was fun. That was at a biker bar too, bro.
Yeah,
oh my god, everybody almost got into a fight that night. Dude, oh my god, I was waiting for the bathroom and there's this biker like hanging out with it, like he has his foot behind me, like he wants to trip me, or he wants me to step on his shoe to start a problem.
Yeah.
And I see it, and I'm like, hey, bro, my bad. Like, he's like, no, just wait 5 more minutes for the bathroom because there are people in there doing something. And I'm like, okay. Hey, fuck, man. It was a biker bar. I'm sitting there going, I'm just a wrestler, bro. I'm not trying to get stabbed. Like, chill. But, yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, thank you for bringing up my title histories.
Of course. It's another way of also plugging cagematch.net. I'm just saying, and when I'm looking at this list, you've held the GCF title longer than any other title right on here. So I'd like to point out as well that you are currently the longest reigning GCF champion in history.
Oh, I am?
You are.
Okay.
It says you are at 334 days as of today. The last reigning champ was at 285 days.
Oh.
You are currently the longest reigning defending GCF.
The champ after him was what, 3 hours?
I believe it was about 2 hours, maybe 5 minutes. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe less, to be honest.
Yeah.
So there you go. Congratulations on being the longest
Fucking
reigning
hey, I'm the
GCF
longest
SoCal champ.
champion. We're about to celebrate. Who wants some whiskey? Come on, guys.
I'm on my way, man.
So that was, my little plug. Hollywood, you got any questions for the champ? Rossi, anything you want to talk about?
Well, yeah. Let me ask Caddy real quick. Look, obviously, longest reigning in GCF history. But at the end of the day, what kind of legacy do you think you're leaving behind with that belt?
I like to think I'm leaving the legacy of a tough guy who can back it the fuck up, who always has a plan, who's smarter, who thinks 5 steps ahead of everybody else. And see, that's what keeps you a damn champion. You have to be smarter than the person you're wrestling. And you know what? Saint, RJ, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this stuff. I don't know when this stuff clears up, if Joey Barone or whoever is still number 1 contender. I don't know what the hell you guys are going to do about that. But understand, even if you didn't like it at first, you seem to embrace it now. But I am smarter and better than anyone you will put across the ring at me, and I will make sure by hook. And I've said this a million times. You can fucking quote it. Fuck, Hogan, you've been in the building every time I've said it. By hook or by crook, I am still everyone's favorite. The cure for the common wrestler, the dad bod god. But more importantly, I'm still your GCF champion. And I will be for a very long time.
I can't argue with that. Like you just said, I may not have liked it at first. You may not have been the champ that I thought I wanted. But you're the champion that GCF deserves, and I mean that with all my heart now. Yeah. And obviously, me and RJ don't always see eye to eye. At our last event, I got in his way, and he wasn't happy. But, when all this is said and done, we're going to treat this almost like a new beginning in GCF. We're going to treat this like a new introduction. I want to reintroduce all the fans to who they are, and you better believe I'm going to reintroduce them to the longest reigning champion in GCF history, Chris Kadillak. So, that being said, I do believe unless he doesn't show up, Joey Barone won the right to be a number 1 contender. I would love to see this match of Joey Barone versus Chris Kadillak. If not, I will always find you a suitable opponent to make you and the fans happy. And I'll leave it at that. So, RJ.
I still want to break his damn face.
All I say right now before you even get to RJ, just because as of right now, we only have one name who is a contender, and that is Joey Barone. And I've said my piece with it. I threw my 2 cents out there. The gloves are off. The kid games are over. Barone, you're going to need more than a new haircut to back anything up when you get in the ring with Caddy for that belt. That's all I'm saying, champ. And I know you like to walk around with your belt, whatever. It doesn't compare to the one that's on this guy's shoulder, that's around his waist. Every time he walks around with it, the people know he is the only champion that anybody needs to have their eyes on. At the end of the day.
That's another thing. I want you guys in talks to OCCW about me becoming their champion. About me.
He deserves it.
Uber stud.
I'm not arguing. I just don't know how much business I want to do of champions versus champions. We haven't had much luck with that lately. I'm just saying.
Unless how good would it be to have GCF's champion be the only champion in Orange County?
I can't argue with that.
Like
I really can't. No, I don't. I just, you're going to do what you're going to do. I just don't know how much business I want to continue doing with champions versus champions. I truly believe our champion is the ultimate champion. That's why you're the SoCal heavyweight champion, not just the OC. You're all of SoCal. So we'll see what they have to say about that. I know that we were all supposed to have a tournament before all this started. GCF was supposed to get involved in the Bushido Cup. I don't know if that's still happening when all this is done, but obviously we're open to business. So we'll see where it goes from there.
RJ, you're pretty quiet over there, man.
He's looking at
because I was watching old Laker games. I was kind of to myself out when you're counting all this fucking championship rings for some reason. But yeah, I mean,
you just
sorry that the company that you're supposed to own is getting in the way of all your fucking Laker games.
Not supposed to actually own. Check the paperwork, and I just don't care about your other titles. You're our champion. Let's just talk about your current championship reign. Nobody cares about the shit you did 10 years ago. It's in high school 10 years ago. Nobody gives a fuck. All right? You're the current GCF SoCal heavyweight champion. There it is. The next show, you'll defend it against Joey Barone or fucking who else? Whoever wants to show up and face you, you'll defend the championship. And if you win, okay, good for you. If you lose, fuck it. We'll move on. The company
Damn.
still goes.
See, but that's where
shit.
you're wrong. That's
Feels like I should be negotiating for more money at this point.
Damn, RJ's
that's where-
hostile again.
At the end of the day, man, the company doesn't continue because when the company needs to understand is if, and it's a big if there is a day that comes where that belt isn't with Kadillak, the company's not going to keep turning. Your company just failed. Your company just burned, man. And when that day, if that day ever comes, man, God have mercy on everybody's souls, because that's going to be a dark day in SoCal history.
No, it's just going to be another normal day with the sunrise and the sunset. Your boy's not going to have a fucking championship. Just like when the first champion lost his championship, just like when the second champ lost, when the third champ loses, it's going to be another day in the company.
That's the difference. You can't even name the two former champs because they don't deserve to have their names next to the title.
Danny Limelight,
the only name,
I was trying to give you some credit.
That deserves to be next to GCF SoCal Heavyweight Championship is the man right here, Chris Kadillak. The past, you're talking about the past not mattering? Goddamn right, the past don't matter. Those two champs couldn't lace the fucking champ boots right now.
Okay, cool. But like I said,
okay, you know what, RJ,
whether he wins or loses, it's
RJ,
still.
RJ, I'm gonna start holding you up until I get matches I want, like the first champion did. I'm gonna start holding you up until I get paid what I want, like the first champion did. Dude, would you like that? Would you like that, or do you like having a champion that shows up and is ready to work and bust his ass every time? Fucking sometimes twice a show. RJ, are you kidding me right now?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you go over my head and go through Saint or the investors to get what you want, that's where I feel slighted. You can come to me. I'll grant you whatever the fuck you want. You are a very hardworking person. I knew that from the first time I saw you in the ring, that you were a workhorse, that you'll do whatever you want for the love of the business that you're in. Nobody said you weren't a hardworking champion. Nobody said you don't deserve it. I mean, you've done some shit to keep it, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But, you know, you want to be a respectable champion in everyone's eyes, do some respectable shit. You feel me?
I don't want to be a respectable champion, RJ. I am the fucking champion, RJ. No matter what, when I walk into that locker room, whether they want to or not, they respect me now. That's it. You do not understand. You're disrespecting me and you're downplaying me like I'm nobody. I don't appreciate that. So
and
why
what
don't
do
I just be like your first champion was?
What do you and your boy do?
What?
What do you and your boy do? Downplay my authority. What does Saint do? What does everybody else in GCF do?
What authority have you shown?
You lost it.
What authority have I ever got to show? Because you guys go to people like Declan, or you let Saint run his mouth and do some shit that.
Us.
Hold on now. You're bringing me into this again after we ran a successful company for the better part of a year, RJ.
And we have, Saint, but everybody's seen the fucking shows, man. Everybody saw the last show. Everyone feels like they can undercut me or go over my head because they can talk to you. You're easier to talk to. You can go. You're right with the investors, you know. And that's not how this shit works, man. That's not what we agreed on. I'm the owner. I got to say so. You make the matches. I sign off on them. If I don't want it to happen, it won't fucking happen. Is that what happened?
You were the full owner. You wouldn't have investors who throw money in and make decisions.
Well, if you know how businesses start, you need money to start a business.
I do, brother. I've been around this a lot longer than you have.
I didn't want the investors involved. Saint got them involved, and here we are. The only reason the investors are involved,
you have to answer to them, man.
Yeah, but answer to them, not take orders.
I'm sorry, Hogan. I feel so bad. I just took over your stuff. I apologize.
No, you're good. I'm enjoying this. I just love how you guys are still arguing and we're not even in the studio. A pandemic.
You know, it happens. You know,
right I might be a little thirsty right now and, you know, be sipping on something, but RJ's very lucky we're not in the studio together.
I'm going to cut you both off.
You say that every
single
time.
I'm going to stop you, RJ.
The next,
RJ.
You say it constantly, but you don't do shit to me. You didn't even do anything to say it.
Your walrus tusks.
You didn't even do anything to say
it
when he busted you.
It's definitely missing the mark.
When he punched you right in the face in front of everyone. You still haven't done anything to say it. So I don't take any.
Oh no, we squashed it, man. We squashed it.
Oh, we squashed it. We squashed
Remember,
it. No, if
2020
you were
was supposed
real,
to be all love, and then
if you were a
Corona
real
took
champ,
over.
you would have got right back at him, right? If you're a real badass, you would have got right back at him, right? Isn't that what Divine
What? Well,
Intervention
you're
was all
playing
about?
tug of
No,
war
no,
for
no.
the champion's belt.
I'm not
with
part of that
Rossi?
shit no more.
RJ,
Come
you
on,
need to
man.
remember
So-
something.
Part of that.
RJ,
Like,
you need to
come
think
on
about
now.
it, man.
You over here
You're the-
threatening
you're-
me when you
you're
won't
the
even get back
boss.
and say.
You're the boss of a company, yet you're starting fights with your top star. You're
And you're the
starting
boss
a
of
fight.
somebody who lives in an apartment where your champ
No.
lives in a 3-bedroom
I
house.
mean, you need to start facing the facts. Your company exists.
I mean, my name
Because
is
of your
still on the
champion.
lease here, so whatever. No,
This
okay.
man is the only
houses and
reason this
apartments don't have
company is
anything to
still
do with it.
flowing.
It's Southern California.
All
Okay,
right, all
and
right,
Rossi's
all right. Hollywood,
talking.
play
Look, I
neutral
can
here.
you guys
Take,
argue
take
all
the
the
show
time.
back
I
over,
think we
Hollywood.
got to get out of here, man.
I can listen to you
Yeah.
guys argue all the time. I will just say this. I think Caddy has definitely legitimized the GCF SoCal title, unlike anybody
God damn.
had did or
You're
could have.
welcome.
I would just throw that out there from my point of view, an outside point of view. And RJ, I appreciate you for giving me all the new opportunities you're giving me and all the raises and et cetera, et cetera. But I will say this.
Yeah,
I don't think
sure.
without giving Caddy that title, we would not have the legitimization of that SoCal title. Longest reigning, it's a fact, man. It's just facts now. At the end of the day, the problems you two have, that's besides the point. But we're getting very close to a year-long reign in GCF, and I think that should be celebrated. I really do. Besides all the karma and all the bad takes and all that stuff, I think at the end of the day, especially during this pandemic, come on, guys. So at some point when this ends, we're all going to get back together, and we got a show to put on. So let bygones be bygones, and let's get this ball rolling because we have a lot other features coming to GCF. So please
GCF,
subscribe.
Road to Violence coming soon.
Thank you, Hollywood, for always being impartial and doing your job. This is why you are the voice of GCF. This is why you surpass some other announcers. We don't need to name names. It's just you've done your part and you know the role. So thank you for that. RJ, I'm not going to even push anymore. Let's talk about one more thing. We've got more footage coming to you if you're watching our YouTube channel very soon. I'm very excited. We're going to bring you a history of GCF very soon and talk about what went into the very first show and kind of tell you about how me and RJ are, why we're here, and what we've got to get to this point for. So we look forward to being able to plug all these things very soon, and we definitely look forward to being able to bring wrestling back to SoCal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that is the plan. So once again, please subscribe to GCF's YouTube channel. We did gain 2 new subscribers since last week's episode. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. GCF is going to be bringing you more content as this time goes on. And again, like I've said many times, as soon as this cleared, we'll get the ball rolling again, and we'll be back in the studio, and we'll be back having GCF shows. But in the time being, we are still going to give you content one way or another. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. GCF is on there. Follow the Fed. It is your boy, Hollywood Hogan. Once again, I want to thank the champion, Chris Kadillak, for making time on his busy day to show up on episode number 3 of Missing the Mark. Thank you for coming out, sir.
Yeah, no, thank Rossi too, man.
Yeah, Rossi. I mean, well, yeah, if there's wherever Caddy's at, Rossi's not far behind. So, I mean, it's a joint job. I understand it. So, Rossi, thank you for coming
You're
as
very
well.
welcome. I
Wait,
love
wait,
this
you said
company more than something.
joint? What? I heard. Never mind. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Exactly where Caddy is, I try to be because I always want to hang out with my buddy. I always want to show up with the champ. I always want to do whatever he says and get some, have some fun. So thanks for always inviting us, Hollywood. I love getting weird, man. Hollywood. I love it, dude. And once this whole thing is done, like you said, we will get back to work. We will get back to
Yeah, RJ, keep that
lives.
same energy when all this shit is done. Keep that same energy.
please.
I very much will.
Can't wait, man. Saint, it's always a
sign off?
pleasure.
Thanks everyone for joining us again. It's always entertaining here. We miss the fans. Trust me, even I do. So I look forward to being back very soon.
Yeah, and I also want to make one note. If the editing is weird and you see like RJ's face and eyeballs only, it's not. Look, because I know somebody's probably commenting on, being like, why couldn't we see everybody? Look, this is technology that not a lot of us are used to. I've never used this stuff, so I just want to make this. We're doing the best we can with the stuff we have. So just make sure you watch and enjoy the show. RJ, parting words before we sign off completely.
See y'all next week.